Thank you, David. Welcome, and I'd like to acknowledge the land we're standing on today as the traditional lands of the Kaurna people. First, I'd like to acknowledge the land that we're standing on as part of the Kaurna land is that it's not just a small area. We're looking at all the way down from Gawler down to Two Wells, and so as part of our cultural elements, the kangaroo dreaming story will be a part of the element of our journey for learning about this jumper today. My name's Shane Tongerie. I'm the Indigenous Support Officer for Sturt Football Club. Firstly, I'd like to welcome our members and people that are watching this video about learning about the understanding of why it's important to have a part of culture through the Indigenous jumper. I'd like to introduce Uncle David Booth to our discussion in regards to his elements and helping us display the drawings of the Indigenous jumper.
Thanks, brother. G'day everyone, my name is David Booth. I'm a cultural representative up through the Adelaide Hills. My bloodline links to country are Warramungu, northeast of Tennant Creek. My skin name is Jampin and my dreaming is Small Men Dreaming. I also have bloodline links to Yagara Jinnaburra country over on the east coast in Brisbane, but I'm linked here to Adelaide on Kaurna country, Ngarrindjeri and Paramount country through my partner and children who are Ngarrindjeri, Paramount and Kaurna bloodline descendants. I'd also just like to acknowledge being here on Kaurna country and visiting as a neighbour, and would like to show my respect to the Kaurna people as they are the traditional custodians and caretakers for this area of country. But also acknowledging that I've been sharing the Yidaki here in this video to share with you guys, which doesn't originate from this area of country. It originates in the top end of the Northern Territory on Yolngu country. I'd like to acknowledge the Yolngu people for me sharing the Yidaki here on Kaurna Yarta.
Thank you, David. I'd like to actually go through the elements of the jumper. David and I met just recently just in regards to how we were going to draw and describe what this jumper means for us and the learnings that can come from this jumper. The learnings that were allowing us to create a story that's depicted on who we're playing, which will be the Adelaide Football Club. So for us to actually look at the hunting methods to scare tactics on how to scare birds away from their prey. So when we're looking at the elements of the jumper, we need our men and women to hunt. So a part of our hunting is using the tools which would be depicted in the Kaurna shield and spear. So when our Aboriginal men and women are out traditionally hunting, it's about us actually using those tools to shield and protect ourselves when out hunting. Uncle David, do you want to talk about the elements of why the shield's important for Aboriginal people?
Yeah, the shield itself is representation was strength and protection within the community. Aboriginal people often did too, in conflict, would use this shield as a way to protect themselves. It was also used during those times for hunting.
So also the element of hunting would be a boomerang. And the boomerang is used as a scare tactic to scare birds from the areas prior to our men and women hunting those areas. So part of our learning was the boomerang is in flight. So from the front of the jumper, we'll start from it moving in the air, depicting from the front to the back of the jumper. So part of that learning is about in flight was allowing our young men and women to be able to scare their prey away from that area. Uncle David, do you want to talk about what the boomerang depicts?
Boomerangs, or garlies, there's many different names for them. There's over 50 different types of boomerangs. There are over 500 different Aboriginal language groups traditionally that were spoken throughout this land. They were the first ever manual propelled flight in the world. And as I said, there was 50 different types. There were about 3 different categories. Low flyers, which were heavy hardwood boomerangs, meant for moving animals on land. You had gliding boomerangs that were light wood, so they would glide high in the sky and were strong enough for breaking small wing bones. But then you had returning boomerangs. Returning boomerangs were scare boomerangs. They were the boomerangs that were used to scare the birds into flight, into motion, into nets, into traps.
Also depicting our traditional animals, using them as totems, but also we have 2 animals that we would look upon as being an understanding of. One is the emu and the second one is the kangaroo. Firstly, we'd like to use the emu as part of the journey for our coaches, as the wise old emu would be depicted as Marty Matner as part of that learning group, but also he is a strong member being able to guide the kangaroos through the journey of going fast and slow. As we know, kangaroos can move at a very, very quick rate, and then when they're rested, they can actually take their time and just move around slowly. So in the game of football, we will be moving fast and we will be moving slow. Uncle David, if you could tell us about the totems. Yeah,
the emu. The emu was hunted widely by many different Aboriginal groups, not only for its feathers, its meat, but its bone and its nail and even its tendons were used as part of our clothing and our weaponry and our headpieces and our dress, our traditional dress. The emu, the male emu, is the one that actually looks after the young, after the babies. It guides and teaches them. The eggs were nested on by the male, and if you got too close to those young ones, the male would let you know by attacking and pecking and chasing you. The emu is also depicted in our dreaming, and it tells us about when we could hunt. Through that nesting time, we didn't hunt, but we were able to collect eggs. But this was in our stories and our stars, and that's what's guided us with this element in this story.
And because we're in the Adelaide region, we're actually in Unley, so we depicted the oval as part of the gathering. We put the oval as a circle at the top of the jumper, but allows us to look at the breakdown of 4 quarters of football. We can see the gathering area in the middle of the circle, meaning that we actually coming to play against a side. We depicted that it runs into 4 quarters of football, so we have our men prepared to play and run and take their time to win that quarter of football. Around the outside, we also have the supporters and the reserves and women watching each game as we play. As part of that gathering, it allows us to be able to be recognised that this oval is depicted on Kaurna land. Uncle David.
Yeah, it's a very important aspect of the design, where it's representing a modern element to the story about the Unley Oval being here on Kaurna country. Traditionally, this is the land of the Kaurna people. The footprints represent that these people standing on this country, and there's U-shapes representing them resting between those quarters. Those lines linking in are the journeys of those people that are dividing up these quarters and the people that support them around, which is a very traditional symbols, but used in a very contemporary way, telling this modern story about what's happening here at Unley.
We've also got elements of dream time, which allows us to be able to depict on the elders that have passed and those people that have actually played for our jumper. And our acknowledgement of them is through the stars and recognising that they come out on special occasions. Also in those stars are the women that actually gathered together, the 7 sisters. That story is depicted on those women that needed to be strong together, so they actually worked together as one to be able to be supportive of each other through the process of not being separated in their journey. My depiction of the dreaming allows us to be able to share knowledge and stories, but also understanding that we have those people that have passed and those people that have recently retired from the game to be able to still be a part of our journey through wearing this jumper.